How was it for you?
I enjoyed the sound of lots of people talking and tones of voice that indicated engagement in the process. So, did you learn something about yourself and other types?
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. Says Demona.
Yes.
Is there something specifically that you learned you'd like to share with the class?
I
Share
learned
with the
that
class, Desdemona.
What?
Share with the class, Desdemona.
I learned that she had some options that she didn't think through. I think I helped her think those through a little bit. And I think we kind of ran out of time with my stuff, but she'll hit me back next time, I bet. I'll call her.
I find that hard to believe.
Why?
Just saying
I find what hard to believe.
that you ran out of time.
Really?
Hey.
But we did.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not the real boss, but when he mentioned, oh, can you recommend me or make it easy so I can find a good job? I felt pressure.
Yeah?
I felt like, oh my God, he's leaving.
And what type are you?
9,
And what type was he?
3.
There is absolutely no question but that you are 9. 9s feel pressure. They don't want to have to be held to time constraints. Are you a 9 with a 1 wing?
8.
You're a 9 with an 8 wing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
9
giving
with,
him a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a recommendation. Oh, wait.
and what type were you, Sharad?
I'm a 3 with no way.
You are wingless in Seattle. Wingless in Stanford.
He gave me a hard time. He tried to tie my bonus to future performance.
And what was wrong with that?
I was like, promote me now, and if you're not going to, give me a bonus now and promote me later.
Okay, so that's a millennial thing. That's not Sorry. So, okay, did that work for you? Was that working?
Well, it took me by surprise, because he was like, so you want a bonus now on past performance? I was like, yes. I don't know, it just took me by surprise. I thought it'd be easier than that, but it was a roadblock I had to follow.
Yeah, well, 9s are not pushovers.
Yeah, I don't know. I was giving you a hard time.
Yeah, but they're not pushovers.
Okay.
They're not. They're really easygoing, but their feet are firmly anchored in Mother Earth. So they're not going to bend. So with 9s, what you have to do is basically give them a lot of space and talk in very calm terms. So 3s are all high energy, generally speaking, and want to get things done right now, and they're super efficient. And 9s sort of like the process, they kind of want to go with the flow. So it's you sort of have to work your energy in a way that's not going to be off-putting to the 9. And so maybe a different way of approaching that would have been to have said, you know, hey, I've been thinking about this promotion kind of idea, and you know, I'd kind of like to get your thoughts about it. And you know, I know you're in my camp, you've given me great reviews, but it would really be helpful to me if I could, you know, put a little bit more specific goals in place that, you know, will allow me to, you know, reach a promotion in a certain time. Asking for a bonus when there's been no agreement for a bonus previously is a tough place to start.
Do you think it's good pressure or bad pressure for a 9? Something like saying I'm going to walk.
Bad pressure.
That's bad pressure. They don't want. Okay. That's not going to make
Oh,
them
no.
cave. That's
Oh,
gonna make
no,
them
no,
like,
that's the worst thing you could do with a 9.
What was it?
I'm an 8.
The question
I'm
was,
a 9.
the question was, if you give pressure to a 9 by saying, I'm going to walk if you don't give me this bonus, that's the worst possible type of pressure you could put on a 9. I mean, they'll shut down in a heartbeat if they're a boss, because it's conflict, right? Feels conflicted. Yeah? A much better way to do it is more consensus oriented. I know you want to support me. Could we talk about a way that you could help support me in my desire to become, to you know, get to the next step in my career?
Wow, that's really helpful.
Does that help? Okay.
I'm a type 3, so during the negotiation, I think that's really interesting. I didn't realize that always you have an open up free conversation
past it because you were wanting to know,
Yeah.
you know, when the penny was gonna drop.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that question keep repealing again.
Okay, so how could he have done it differently in a way that would have made you more comfortable supporting his request?
I think
7-3.
probably, I know it sounds weird, but if he mentioned that at the very beginning, I want promotion, I know it's hard, but sometimes that makes me comfortable because I know exactly what he wants and what the bottom line is, and it doesn't matter whether I'm going to help him or not, or his effects will change the results, but knowing that effect really makes me feel comfortable.
Okay, so for anyone in a room who's not familiar with the concept of SMART goals, you all heard of SMART goals? SMART goals were written by 3s. Specific, measurable, actionable, results, timeline, right? So asking a 3 for promotion, specific, measurable, action-oriented, results, timeline. You will feel much more comfortable, right? Yeah, good, great question. Yeah.
So I'm a 3 and I actually got the same feedback, so I was kind of beating around the bush a little bit and respected her and her career development, trying to tie that to my career development, and then
What type was she? As a
1.
As a 1. Ooh.
And she thought I should have just gotten to the point.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
but what did work well is I listed 3 reasons why that I should be promoted with members, and
Okay.
then I tried to keep it to like a very short time.
So,
I think
so 1s are very fair-minded. They're very principled, very self-controlled. So you want to give a very rational, orderly argument for why you should get a promotion. You could even start by saying, I've been here 2 years, I have not had a single review. And the first thing they're going to do is say, we're going to take care of that right away. Yeah. So
versus getting defensive.
they shouldn't get defensive with that. I mean, if you're not being critical, so that's the other thing is that because 1s are so sensitive to criticism, because they are their own worst critics, you just want to be very rational, right? So you can state it in a neutral way that's factual, and that should, you know, mitigate any feelings of defensiveness on the part of 1. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to do that with my husband all the time, but it doesn't work all the time.
Well, no. Did we mention that Peter has a 9 wing?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 9, when they get into some kind of criticism, do they track back to their cocoon and they kind of stop speaking? How do you get them into action and open up?
Right, so the thing about 9s is that they want to make peace. They want harmony. So whatever it's going to take to get to a place of harmony and to get out of conflict is, you know, how you want to be, you know, sort of the way you want to approach a person with a 9 wing. If they're a 9 wing with a 1, sorry, if they're a 9 with a 1 wing, it will be easier because they tend to be more fair-minded. If they're a 9 with an 8 wing, they can be, you know, a little bit more hard-assed, if you will. But still, the you know, mediating aspects of the peacemaker will soften that a little bit. So I would just basically take the approach of working to build consensus. This is how we can get along better in the organization. What was it that you were asking for in your negotiation?
It's basically when a person 9 is being denied something, do they charge up and charge back and ask why? But they don't charge back. They kind of keep things to themselves. They don't go ahead and question, why am I not getting this? That's the kind of personality, if you have to change that, or if you have to deal with that, how do you deal with that?
So if I'm understanding what you're saying, they won't deal with the issue?
They will have the grudge, they will have that anger, they will keep it to themselves, but they won't clarify and seek a resolution.
So the first thing to do is to check your own energy level, see how you're feeling about that, so that you don't respond in a way that would cause them to kind of go off or, you know, essentially hibernate. And then I think that a good way to approach it is to give it a little bit of time and then go back on another occasion and approach it from the perspective of, I really need your help in resolving an organizational issue. And you're so good at seeing all sides of, you know, of everybody's interests, that, you know, I could really use your help in, you know, bringing this to resolution. So you need to engage them, you know, from a level of wanting to bring harmony into the organization. And that should trump the conflict they're feeling. Okay, so I've been advised that we had 8 minutes 2 minutes ago.
You have 6 now.
So if I'm doing the math, we're now down to 6 minutes. So there were a lot of questions about direction and growth, and this is really a subject for an entire separate lecture. But I did want to just say that unlike the wings, which are on either side and it helps sort of provide some clarifying or balancing attributes to our dominant personality type, direction of growth goes to another type entirely, where we're going to take advantage of the high side of that particular type's attributes in order to, you know, soften some of the attributes that are perhaps not working for us. So in the case of a 1, where a 1 is perfectionistic, by going to the direction of growth, going to a 7, as you can see here where the arrow is pointing, it allows them to kind of get out of their own self-critical way of being and into a more playful and energetic and idea-oriented perspective. So it's a way of sort of allowing them to step into that 7 energy, which takes the pressure off of being perfectionistic and rather gives them an opportunity to learn to play. As I mentioned with the 3 going to a 6, the 3s can be so interested in taking action that they'll cut corners and oftentimes will end up shooting themselves in the foot by doing something without really thinking it through. The 3 going to the 6 allows the perspective of more introspection and really kind of asking, you know, doing some more critical thinking around a particular area of need. So that's what, you know, when we talk about direction of growth, and it's a huge topic. I mean, this is a huge topic, but there were several questions about it, so I just wanted to bring it up.
It could be a good coaching model for you if you have to coach a teammate or a colleague, just to perhaps use it as a reference to think, oh, what can I help this person with? Just a thought.
Exactly.
Do you ever grow out of an Enneagram?
No, you just become more authentically who you are. So what happens with any Enneagram type is that I will always be a 3, but the 3 that I was even 10 years ago, where I was super focused on, you know, the numbers and the impression I was making, has become sublimated to a desire to express more of the service-oriented, a more purposeful sort of life.
Into 6.
Yes, into 6 and into 2 as well. So using so yes, moving more to the 6 gives me the opportunity to become more introspective and more thoughtful around how I am in the world. Leveraging my 2 wing also gives me the opportunity to think more from a service perspective, being more of service, being more purposeful in being of service to people, as opposed to always having to be about, you know, the bank account or the car. Does that make sense? A little bit about leadership by type. You know, oftentimes we look at organizations and we think, wow, is that an 8 organization? Is that a 7 type of organization? And, you know, you can get a sense of how a company operates, you know, in terms of sort of, you know, what their sort of reason for being is. So type 1 organizations are sort of all about orthodoxy, mandating, and prescribing. Type 2 organizations are really, you know, it's cheerleading. Type 3 is really a meritocracy focused on results. Type 4 is really inspirational. 5 is about being data-centric, so an Axiom as an example, or Google would be a 5 organization. 6, any organization that seeks to avoid blame, could that be the U.S. government, perhaps? Might be a reluctant authority. An adhocracy, you just kind of figure it out on the fly. A type 8 is going to be totally autocratic. It's my way or the highway. And type 9 is going to be very collegial. A college environment might be a type 9 type of organization. And you know, the last thought I'd just like to leave you with is that basically, if you're your authentic self, you have no competition. So the Enneagram really is about understanding at the core who we are, what's important to us, and then getting to that place of authenticity and leading from that place in all of our communications with people. So thanks very much, guys. Really appreciated your interest.
Thank you, Wendy.
How did I do?
I don't have any chocolates or anything. No, you finished. Oh, pretty much on time.